Elizabeth Crossley-Wright is the first designer to merge the world of fashion and sustainability. The Global Goals collection takes inspiration from the 17 Global Sustainability Goals issued by the UN back in 2015. Now, the line has received acclaim from will.i.am, Bono, Sir David Attenborough, and Matt Damon's. Welcome to What She Said.
Thank you so much for having me.
And now from us.
Yes, it's beautiful. Thank you very much for bringing us in some lovely bracelets. But what inspired you to create a brand with such principles?
I think I've always been really enamored with the idea of storytelling and maybe using another medium than just words. So, and I always thought, jewellery is for centuries, since the beginning of time, we've used jewellery to express our identities, whether it's a tribal piece of jewellery or it's our wedding bands, or in the olden days, sailors would wear an earring so they could always pay their way into the death, to the land of death, because you had to have coin on you. So jewellery has had so many purposes. And I thought we need to connect that very intimate feeling that you have with a piece of jewellery and that personal connection. We need that connect that with a bigger issue, such as the global goals.
Why don't we tell people what are some of the 17 goals put in place by the UN?
So it's really quite extraordinary, because UN is a big club for the whole world to work on some big issues. But what's so different about this time is that in 2015, they launched 17 goals, basically a path for a better world. But what's unique about this time is that there's 193 countries that have signed up. So it's really worldwide. And more than 15,000 corporates. And it's big corporates such as Danone, L'Oreal, SAP that are massive, massive supporters of this. And they engage through their employees. And so it really is much more powerful this time because we have corporates behind. But some of the goals are, for instance, goal number 1 is no poverty. Goal number 2 is zero hunger. Goal number 3 is good health and well-being. Goal number 4 is good quality education. Goal number 5 is equality. Clean water is number 6. Clean energy is number 7.
You're doing well.
So
you got them.
I know them by heart.
But
But basically, so it's not political, but it's so, no matter what you care about, if you're huge into animal rights or you're huge into education or climate change, there is a goal that you can connect with. You can find your cause, whatever that may be. So it's really clever, I think.
Now, how did you connect a specific piece of jewelry to a goal?
I didn't want it, as much as I think it's fantastic with the bow, for the red bow for AIDS or the pink one for cancer. You tend to wear that during breast cancer month or something. I wanted something that was almost like discreet activism. So I thought, okay, what is the story of each goal? I wanted you to be able to wear your bracelet today and think for yourself it's a beautiful piece of jewelry and it means something to you, but may not always feel like broadcasting your causes. So I just interpreted, every single piece, like your piece with the energy is a ball of energy with this gold with small diamonds on. Your piece with the community is a diamond shape to sort of signify that a community has to be as solid, as strong as a diamond. So I just interpreted the way I felt they should be interpreted.
What's the reaction that you've had?
Really fantastic. So we sort of did a soft launch at the World Economic Forum in Davos in January. And we sold the pieces in the gift shop. And it was just fantastic. I spoke to Bono from U2 who said to me, "Oh, Elizabeth, it's you and me, the artist. We need to really work and engage people and inspire them." And I was thinking, you and me, Bono, And I've been listening to him.
Haven't we all thought that at some stage?
And he was holding my hand and kissing me on the cheek. And I said to my husband, "It's not cheating if it's Bono, is it?" And he said,
no,
it
exactly.
is.
You get
your paws off him.
That's a
So,
whole pass.
but
There
so
you
he
go.
was one. And will.i.am loved the owl for the education. It's goal number 4. I chose an owl for wisdom, and I said, "Why do you love the owl so much?" Because he was like, "Oh my God, I love it. Owls are my favorite animal." I said, "Why?" And he said very sweetly, he says, "Well, because I came from a really, really sort of empowered upbringing, impoverished upbringing in LA. I didn't have a lot of opportunity. And my name is Will, and I've done everything in my life because I said, I will do this. And if you say it quickly in American, it's, I'll do it. So therefore, an owl is my sign."
Oh,
so
that's so
that was quite
clever.
funny. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Now, you cast the pieces, and then they're manufactured in developing countries.
Yeah, that's the whole other part. You know, that
Yeah,
one
so tell
part
us about
is
that.
one part is to actually create some awareness around this, to engage and inspire, and another thing is to actually make these pieces within the global goals. So sustainable production, decent work, not taking any toll on the climate. So we try to find small workshops in Afghanistan, in Africa, in Jordan. You know, we're working with a platform that can introduce us to these artisans, and so you actually by wearing a piece, you're really giving opportunity to someone directly.
How many pieces are there?
17
17
for
pieces.
this, yes, one for each of the goals. Yeah.
And they're all bracelets.
They're actually charms. So I made some of them into bracelets. You can have them as a bracelet or a necklace. We also have a charm bracelet we can put all 17 on. So, you know, if you
that's
wanted
a nice
that. But
idea.
it's kind of to collect the
And where
pieces we
are
like.
they available? All over the world?
So they're available on on our website, but they're also available on Moda Operandi, Maisonette, Broken English. There's some big retail websites in the
So
US.
how do you top this now, Elizabeth?
I think I just want to continue this. I just think this is. I just
Good
think
enough.
it's an interesting way to engage.
Well, I know how you top it.
Okay.
You recently secured a coveted Canadian Arts and Fashion Impact Award nomination, which is very
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah.
So tell us about what that means and what the Impact Award stands for.
Well, I think for me, it really means something to be recognized. Whether we win or not, that would be amazing if we did. But it's more, you know, that someone has noticed that we're doing this and it's an important cause, and you know, we can use it to broadcast the initiative a bit more. So, you know, it means a lot to be recognized, I think.
So explain why you believe so much in the importance of merging fashion and sustainability.
Well, I mean, fashion is the second largest polluter after agriculture. You know,
Is it really?
Yeah. You know, and all the clothes that isn't bought,
Textile
you know,
waste,
it's
yeah.
burnt. 9 out of 10 pieces of clothing are burnt. And it takes such a toll on the environment to create fashion. You know, I think it's 40,000 liters to create one pair of jeans, of water to wash them properly. You know, I think, you know, we have to have that responsibility to not just buy blindly, but to understand that it actually has a huge impact on the environment and on the world, how we use fashion. So I think those two things must be connected.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, I'm hearing things for the first time here. I did not realize that fashion was the second
Yeah.
biggest polluter.
It is.
But is there a way of really changing that?
I think, you know, I'm always telling the story. I used to smoke and I loved smoking. I just thought it was
So
fun.
I
did
used
we.
to smoke
Oh.
too, and we loved smoking
you know, I
too.
just thought, and I, with a glass of wine and a coffee, I sort of felt young and sexy until in 2006 in London, they implemented a smoking ban. And suddenly you weren't inside the cafe looking lovely. You were standing outside freezing in the rain. That, to me, was not, you know, who I wanted to be. And so I stopped within the month. But I think it's the same with fashion and sustainability. I think we are fostering a generation of kids and young people who are asking every time they buy something, where's this from? Who made this? Do I need this? And I think it happens quite quickly. You know, I think we're the old ones who have to sort of, because we come from the old agenda, but I really think that the generations to come will support this fully.
And yes, yet it's interesting because they're also the generation of disposable fashion. So they buy
Fast
lots of
fashion,
stuff
yeah.
that are it's cheap, and if in 3 months they don't like it, it's
Yes,
gone.
but I
and
mean, you
something else.
see very, very, very slowly. You know, H&M are doing a sustainable collection, and it's there. It's coming. It's creeping in. I think once you know, you can't unknow. You know, it's very hard to do something that you know, and it's out in society. It's not only you who know it, but the whole society knows this is damaging. Then it's hard to keep justifying it, and I think it'll be a change.
Now, you're based in Montreal.
Yeah.
But everyone can find you and connect with you on your website, which is withlovedarling.com. Where did that name come from?
Oh, it's quite funny, actually. I love that whole idea of giving something with love, you know, the exchange between two people. And withlove.com was actually available, except it was $92,000 to buy that domain. And I'm sitting in my kitchen with my husband, who is English from London and always calls me darling. So he said, well, why don't you try withlovedarling.com? So I put that in, and that was $2.99.
Sold!
So I thought that we have a name. And actually, I like that better now. So
Well, the
Great
pieces
story.
are really beautiful, and we wish you all the best with everything you're doing. And
Thank you
all
so
your
much.
social media is with Love Darling.
it's right. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, she said.